Hello and welcome back to the Motorhome review channel. Today I'm at the Coachman launch and I'm going to be taking a first look at the new Coachman Campervans for 2027. There's two layouts and they're both here today, so we're going to take a first look. I do have some facts and figures, so I'll give you those as we go along. So what do we need to know? Well, the two layouts are going to be called the Coachman Veloce. It's a word meaning speed or quick. So let's see how quick we can get around them and take a look. So the Veloce, these two layouts, you're going to have the VL65 and the VR65. We're going to start with the VL65, which has a rear lounge. So what do we need to know? Now, both the campervans are going to be based on the Fiat Ducato, 2.2 litre diesel engine, 140 horsepower and automatic transmission as standard. The paintwork we can see here, this is the standard paint that the campervans will come with. In terms of length, both of these campervans are 6 metres and 36 centimetres long. They're both 3.5 tonne campervans, so you can drive them on your car licence, and they both provide 2 berths. So these are aimed at the solo traveller or the couples. Right, let's start at the front. So these campervans built here in the UK, they've not come from Sweden, they've been built by Coachman at their factory in Yorkshire. Up on the top we have this beautiful sweeping sunroof. When we go in we'll see the view out of that. The Coachman name across the frontage, the Veloce name badge and the Coachman badge here at the front. We'll go down the near side, make our way to the rear and then come back up the off side. So on the near side, the Fiat alloy wheels, obviously they are right-hand drive because they're for our UK market. Up on the roof, you will get a 110 watt solar panel as standard and Wi-Fi as well. You're also going to get the 2-lay wind out awning and below it, the LED strip light as well. Because it's UK manufactured, you find the habitation sliding door here, and below it there is a 2-lay electric step. You'll also notice that the windows are darkly tinted and they're the flush fit style as well. The graphics, I think these work really well. You can see here we've got the yellow colouring here, complements the paintwork nicely, then it drops down into the darker finish, and the Veloce again. If you're familiar with the Coachman motorhomes, you'll recognise this embossed finish as well. Continuing down, we can just see the side here as we go down, again a further dark window. Now that solar panel, it does complement a Sargent 100 amp hour lithium battery. I know many of you are interested in off-grid capabilities. At the back here, rear view camera, the Coachman name, then again the flush fit darkly tinted windows, the model, the Veloce VL65, our Coachman badge. So this is our back end. Let's take a look. So opening up, now another thing that I like is firstly obviously the colour scheme. There's a second colour scheme in the other campervan that we'll have a look at, but here on the VL we can see this beautiful brown, light brown tan finish with the fabric. And what I like is the fact that this actually now blends really nicely with the interior trim and also the panelled finish on these doors. So it's all coordinating nicely. You can see it's the lounge, we'll come to that in a minute. But here on the back, the windows, they do open. We're going to have the concertina blind there, that's on each side. There's also storage here in each of the doors. Now, a good feature that's also here on the back, I'll just step up, is this rear fly screen. So if you sat on the campsite with those back doors wide open, enjoying the view, this is going to come all the way down and stop any bugs getting in. So you've still got the ability to have the doors open for fresh air. So that comes as standard. The great thing with Coachman is practically everything that you want is going to be fitted to it. I don't have prices as yet, and Coachman haven't told me what these are going to cost. So I'm sure we'll find out later on in the season. Now this one is the rear lounge. Again, we'll see more inside, but as you can see, you've got two really good size lounge seats. Good width here, nice depth to them, and they come with the armrests there. I'll just dive in. Now, on a night time, you have the option to either have these as single beds if you're not overly tall. Otherwise, realistically, you're going to convert this into a double bed. But you can see we've got the armrests. It's really well bolstered, incredibly comfortable, a nice lounge area. And I'll show you the other features of this once we move into the interior space. Lovely. I feel like I'm already going on my travels. Right, at the back here, we do have an external shower point, and there's also the 12-volt socket as well there. Let's leave that for now and continue around to the offside. So onto the offside, again, we can see the flush windows and our graphics for 2027. There's an electric hookup point, toilet cassette point, water filling point. It's worth noting that you are going to get a 90-litre freshwater tank and a 45-litre grey waste tank. Those are insulated tanks. And on board, you're also going to get a 20-litre LPG gas tank. So you've not got the cylinders, you're going to fill up here, that onboard tank, and that's where the gas is going to come that's going to be required in the camper van. And you can see here, water dropping points underneath the camper. So we've got lithium, we've got Wi-Fi, we've got solar, we've got an underslung LPG tank, freshwater tank, grey waste tank, and a 60-litre diesel tank. That covers the exterior. Let's make our way down and look inside the interior. In the interior, we're also going to see the table, which you can take and put out here too. So I'll show you a bit more of that when we go in. So sliding our door open, what you'll find, it's got a 2-catch mechanism. So the first catch will stop the door here, which is great. You don't have it all the way back, so you're not going to lose all your heat in winter. And equally, if you just want some fresh air, you've still just got that coming in there. To fully open, pull again, and continue to slide. Now, we saw a fly screen at the back. We've also got a full-length fly screen here. And then we've also got a gas barbecue point as well. So ideal, you can put your table, set it up here and plug in the barbecue. Right, I'm not deploying the step at the launch because we've got these steps. So let me just step in here. Now, first of all, we come to our cab space. Now, these chairs, they do turn around. We can see the fabric finish, it's on the armrest. And if you come around, you'll see that the Coachman logo is embossed on the seats. The campervans following the motorhomes with this quality finish. The Fiat cab in the front there, automatic transmission, infotainment system as well. Working our way up, so you will get a blind in the windscreen, a blind on the side windows as well. Here we have that large sunroof that we saw when we were outside. You do get a blind and a fly screen fitted on there as well, the concertina style. Some cubby holes, and then at each side here we've got a little downlighter which has got a USB charging point, and that's also the same over here on the off side. Now, before I go further back, let's come through into this space. So we can see here in the campervan, the colouring on the wood. It's a dark wood finish with the matte black handles. I'll open these up and we'll see what awaits us in here. So opening that up, you can see storage. We've got these strong hinges as well there. The plastic finish going into the cupboards, and that continues down this wall space. There's then a grey backboarding and some of the wood panelling. That's really popular this season, and it came in 2026, continued for 2027. Coming down, I'll just move this. I'll talk about that in a second. Let's dive onto the bench seat. So although it's a 2-berth camper, you're going to get 4 travel seats forward facing. So this is going to be your also dining room or more daytime leisure area, I think. On the side here, on the window, concertina blind. You'll also have the fly screen as well. The window does open. Now, you've got a couple of choices. At the moment, we've just got the cup holder with the 2 cup spaces there. So you can take that off altogether, or you can use it just to put your cups in there if you're just up in the morning having a cup of tea or whatever. Or when you're travelling, if you've got someone on the seats, they can put their drinks in there. When you need the full table, you have got a full table to put out. I'm going to show that actually out in the second camper, but for now on this one, I'm going to show you where it's stored. So let's head down here to floor level. So here at floor level, you'll see a little storage hatch. Now this is quite clever. If I pop this, lift this. So concealed in here, both parts lift out, you're going to find a table that folds and collapses down. So when you don't want your table, you can conceal it and put it away. And I think that's a great option because not everybody wants to sit here with a table. And when you're not using it, where do you put it? Down there in the floor. And that flooring, it's the wood effect. This is one of my favourites. I love wood flooring. A lot of manufacturers this season have moved towards a grey concrete type finish. Some people love it, but for me, I like the wood. So I'm pleased to see that. Plug socket and a USB and USB type C charging point here. So if you want to use this table as a workstation, you can do that. And then the dark wood finish as well. Nice. Right, let me stand up and we'll take a look at the ceiling. So coming up here, we have the grey finish around the sunroof and the LED strip lights. There's also an LED strip light on this side, some more of the wood panelling finish, and a good sized sunroof that does open, blind and a fly screen. I'll step down because otherwise you'll think there's no headroom in this camper van at all. I've obviously been stood on that step, so I've dropped back down to floor level. In terms of headroom, Jules has been in here. He's 6'1" and he's still got a good few inches of headroom as well. So it does appear to give you a good amount for that taller person. Kitchen space over on the near side. So the kitchen, you do get the extension flap. You can see the light colour on the finish and then the wood here on the frontage. The control panel is here for the camper van. And then there are some light switches above me as well. On board, you're going to have the Whale heating system. It's a 6 kilowatt airblown system. So that'll heat the camper van when you are away on your travels. Coming through worktop space. So we've got our flap, but then we've also got here. And then if I lift this up, that will reveal our sink, which has the black tap and 2 gas burners. That's going to run off that underslung gas tank. Close that down. And then coming along, so we have this storage area. Now this is nice, you've got storage around here and then you've got some little drawers as well that pull out. So you've got your cutlery drawer there. This is quite nice. I must say, I'm not sure on a camper van if I've seen that sort of system before. So yeah, I like that. And then coming along, we have our Thetford gas oven. You can see there, and I believe it potentially has a grill function above it as well. So oven and grill there. That's obviously a gas appliance, so that'll run off your LPG tank. And then a little bit of storage here, as well as access to some other bits and pieces in there. There's also, while I'm down here, another plug socket as well. So we're certainly not going without in terms of where we're going to be able to charge gadgets or use electrical items. Light switches, dark finish, and then there is a privacy screen here and you can see how it's going to run across here. So when you're using the lounge area on an evening and you want that privacy, you can pull this across and just take it out a little bit there and you've got full privacy. Also great for if you're going to be getting changed. So that's a nice feature to see on a camper van as well. Fridge, freezer. So coming along here, you're going to get the Thetford compressor fridge and freezer. This runs solely off electric, so when you're off grid, it is running off your lithium battery. And then underneath, you're going to find storage for your clothes. So here we have our small wardrobe and storage space, ideal for putting most of your bits and pieces in. And then before we go into the lounge, let's just go over to the off side and take a look at our shower room. This is a real luxury feel again for the camper van. The doors, you pull them together here and here. They are on a magnetic strip and they are waterproof as well. So they're going to keep the water contained in the washroom. You can see the amount of space in here. I'll just step in here to start with. So the air blown heating, there is a vent in here to keep this space warm. There's the Thetford swivel loo. Little storage space there, worktop space, the fruit bowl style sink in the matte black with the tap, toothbrush holder, and then this mirror in place here, a towel holder, and then if I just turn around this way, we see the shower itself again in the matte black, a nice finish here on the splashback, so it's not just plain white, the control for it here, and then dropping down to the plug and obviously pull the shower out and have your shower with that sunroof. So fabulous. This is your all-in-one shower washroom space. Not a compromise there. Right, let me move on. So coming back, we come into the VL layout, the lounge layout. Brilliant. So let me talk about the features in here. First of all, on this near side, there's a plug socket and a television point. I would suggest you could either use that in two ways. One is to put a bracket here, or to just have a freestanding television in your camper. There's the downlighters with the USB charging points, and again we see the dark wood. Let's work our way along. So good size storage cupboard here and here as well. There's also a further downlighter underneath the cupboard on the other side, and again another USB charging point in that downlighter. Continuing down the wall, it's the grey and the wood panel effect, the window on each side as well, and then the seats that we saw when we were outside. Now back here, you'll find this is quite a good little feature. These actually clip off if you don't want them on there, but this is a little shelf so you can have your drinks on there. Lifting this up, there's also a really good sized storage compartment concealed under there, so ideal for putting bits and pieces in there, so there's no waste of space. On this side wall we see replicated the panelling, large window, more storage, more USB charging points, a further shelf here for putting items, and another USB and USB Type-C charging point. Brilliant. Ceiling level, we have more of the wood panelling, LED lighting, good size sunroof as well, popping that open for ventilation. Certainly no compromise. There's also storage here for a second table, because when you're sat back here in the lounge, you may also want to have the table put out to eat and drink at, so you can get out a separate table. What I'll do is I'll just get you to step a little bit further backwards, and I'll just move down to lower level. So the sofas, as I said, do convert. You can see here the slats, so you slide the bed mechanism out, and as you can see there, you've got a bed mechanism on the other side. You're going to slide those out and make your double bed, and that will be made from the cushions here on the backrests, as well as these ones as well. So a nice double bed. And then under here, there's loads of storage. Now, because it's got an underslung gas tank, the good thing is you don't need to worry about storage for your gas bottle. So all these lockers are available for your camping equipment. So you've got space in there and some space in here, and the ones behind me also open as well. Ideal for camping tables, chairs, all that sort of equipment. Right, so I won't ask you to come back in. We'll just have a look back down through the camper. So the VL for 2027, we've got the forward-facing bench seat. We've got the kitchen space. We've got that fabulous all-in-one luxury washroom. You're also going to get your compressor, fridge and freezer. You've got lithium, an awning, underslung gas tank, your fresh water, your grey waste, everything you're probably going to be requiring, including your Wi-Fi, and this fabulous lounge finish. Great. Let's go and take a look at our second layout, because not everybody wants a lounge. Some people do want a fixed bed. So let's head on and take a look over there at the VR65. Camper number 2 is the Veloce VR65. So let's take a look around. Obviously we're going to see a lot of similarities as we saw before. However, let's make a start. So as standard, the 110 watt solar panel, the 100 amp hour lithium battery, and the wind out 2-lay awning. Again, the same on the VR. You'll be able to have the magnetic strip out here to have the table outside, and we'll talk about that again when we go inside. Still on the Fiat, 140 horsepower and automatic transmission, the 60-litre diesel tank. Coming down our side, and then we'll venture around the rear, and straight away we're going to see a difference when I open these doors. So on the back here we have the camera, the Veloce VR65 and the Coachman logo as well embossed here. Let's open these doors and take a look. I think some of you are going to potentially recognise this style of layout and may be quite excited to see it, because what we have is an electric drop-down bed. Now this is fabulous for those people that do want to take plenty of equipment with them and want that higher bed and the additional storage space here, but yet still want that fixed bed, as I say. So let's come to that in a minute. So on the VR, you're still going to have the fly screen, and then as you can see, they've still got the same colouring and style. On this one, there's a different upholstery, and I'll show you that when I go inside. But for now, let me just step in here. Now, yes, we'll see the full interior soon, but from the rear, at the back here, you can see you've got, again, your 12 volt, you've still got the external shower, and this button here is what's going to operate that drop down bed. In terms of headroom with the bed fully up, you can see the amount of headroom I have got, the LED light running down, but look at the storage. Now this is phenomenal. So back here we have a plug socket, we then have storage under here, full cupboard storage here. This model also has the underslung gas tank as well, so you're not losing storage space to a gas cylinder. Storage in here as well, and then storage in this one too. I'll show you further when we come actually inside the camper van, but you can see there further storage, and it continues. So we'll take a look at that very soon, but just gives you an idea from the outside. The bed mechanism, as I say, it is here. It's electrically operated. The bed is going to drop down. Now, as it drops down, it will lower into its lowest position. And then what you do is you're going to fold out the mattress flaps. You can see there, and you can see here. I'm demonstrating it outside because it is just a little bit easier than me trying to do that from inside to show yourselves. So that is the bed. I don't have the measurements of the bed on this first look, but that is clearly a very good sized bed for a couple or a solo traveller. Mattress finished here, the straps that have dropped that down. What I'll do, I'm going to raise that back up now, and then we'll continue as we go around. So folding that back up, and then let's take that back up to ceiling level. You'll see as well, before I take it all the way up, you've got the sunroof, the wood trim finish as well. It's also worth noting as well from back here, if we leave the bed down a little bit, you have these overhead lockers in the dark wood as well, and they have LED strip lighting underneath them. It's ideal as well when you've got your bed dropped down. You'll see there's a underlighter here that's also got a USB charging point in it. Right, let's just take that up. We'll carry on down the offside of the camper van. This is the moment I find out if I've definitely tucked it all away properly. I have, look at that. Right, come on, let's head off down here. So onto the offside, again, it's what we saw before on the VL. The VR has all the facilities on here, that 90 litre fresh water tank, the 45 litre grey waste. Come on, let's head off round the corner and take a look inside, because the fabric on this one, I think this is quite an interesting fabric choice. I like this one maybe just more than the other one, but we'll take a look. Right, so as we come in, you'll see again, we've got our gas barbecue point, we've got our electric step, the fly screen, the control panel. So everything that we've seen is the same up to this point. On this model, I told you I'd demonstrate you the table. Here it is. So this is the table. You've still got the cup holder, but then the other part of the table comes out from the floor and it goes here. Just under here, if I bob down, if I pull this and slide this, you can see how this comes all the way out. Now this table, there is a bar, magnetic bar. It attaches to the sliding door, and you can use this table then outside. So it's ideal. You don't have to take a second camping table. You can use this. So if I just fold this back under here, pull that and swivel it back. So that is shown with the table in operation. I think a lot of people could potentially leave the table away quite a bit of the time. But here we have the Forward-facing bench seat again, and this upholstery. So this is much darker brown leather. This I think could be one of my favourite colours here. The fabric with the quilted style, and if we just look at the headrest as well on the dark leather, you can see that Coachman finish on there, and it's also on those armrests. Present here in this model, we have the television here. This is a 19-inch television, and that is included within the price and all the equipment. Up here again, the wood panelling, the sunroof, so a similar finish following through in the camper. You are also going to get the screen here, the compressor, fridge and freezer, and storage underneath. And the washroom, again, it's replicated, it's what we saw before, so you can see in there how that's finished. I'll just go under here. So coming back here, so this isn't a space you're going to be sitting in. This is a space you're going to be using for storage or sleeping. And I think a lot of people potentially would just leave this bed down. It's like just having a transverse double bed. Storage, you have it as well in here. And you can see another one of those little shelves that you can put out to put drinks on. Under here, the storage as well. And then the bits we didn't see when we were outside, storage and a little bank of drawers as well. So this is nice. Let's have a look in these. These slide out, nicely finished, the dark wood. And you would still be able to get to these with the bed down. You just have to pull them out. It depends on how far you've got your bed. So you should still be able to get to these. These ones obviously would be a little bit more tricky. You just have to raise your bed to do that. There's also a plug socket and I think that's a 12 volt, or is it USB? And a USB charging point as well there. So when you're in bed, you've got charging and plugs, little shelf and USB chargers there. If you just stay there 1 second, what I shall do, I shall just drop the bed down once more so you can see that come down and see it from the position you would be having the bed at when you're on your travels. So as I say, for a lot of people, your bed's probably going to be deployed and you'll just climb onto your bed and that'll be it. And then when you want your storage, you can get to it. Right, lovely. I'll see you around the other side. So that has been our first look at these brand new Coachman campervans for 2027. As I say, made here in the UK. I'm quite impressed with the finish on those. The Veloce VLVR65, both 6 metres 36 centimetres, 3.5 tonne campervans, 2 berths, 4 travel seats, a drop-down electric bed or a rear lounge. Right, I've enjoyed having a look at those. I'm going to put a link to the Coachman website in the description. That website will be being updated once the models are launched, and the website has obviously been updated with all that information. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think this is good competition for other manufacturers that have got similar layouts to this? So as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.